You see, everything that we're going through in life, everything that we're going through in life is either for two reasons. It's for two reasons, not either, but it's for two reasons. Okay? Everything that we ever go through in life, man, is for two reasons. There's two reasons behind it. Okay? Because let's say that we're going somewhere, right? We're driving and our car stopped, right? Our car stopped. And most of the time, when something like that happens, we get mad. We got angry. We're like, why this happened? Why my car stopped? And I'm being late, or I'm going to this place and I'm late. But we don't understand. The car might have stopped because there was something that the stop of the car, because the car stopped, that it prevents you from crashing, right? And most of the time when that happens, right? Thanks, we call AAA, right? We call AAA, or we gotta jump somewhere. Somebody help us jump start the car, and we get back on the road, right? We get back on the road, and while we're driving, right, 10, 15 minutes from where we stopped, there was a big accident, right? There was a big accident happen, okay? And that's when we, in our minds, we're like, wow, what's going on, right? But we don't understand that the reason why our car stopped is because that God or the universe, the divine, was trying to stop us from being on that crash, or no, from being the one that was in the crash, right? Prevent us from crashing, being the one that got in that crash, right? I'm not trying to say whoever, if somebody got in the crash, whoever got on that crash, that you know what I mean? It wasn't fair to them as well. But you got spared, right? Your life got spared, okay? And we don't understand that a lot of times things happen is to protect us. Sometimes things happen to protect us from ourselves. Okay? We see things happen, we get angry, we are mad because it happens, but we never ask the questions, was it for my benefit? Okay? Was that happen because the universe saw something that I didn't see? Or the universe was trying to prevent me, okay? Or prevent something to happen to me. That's why that happened. We have to start realizing that things happen for reasons, okay? There's plenty of reasons, but there's too much important reasons why majority of the thing that happens to us happen for, okay? Sometimes things happen to teach us a lesson, all right? Things happen also to avoid us from being hurt, or things happen to avoid us hurting somebody else or hurting ourselves. Do you ever think about things like that? Sometimes the universe, the divine, protect you from hurting somebody else, from hurting yourself. Okay? Things don't just happen just because, you know. No, they happens for reasons, man. Reasons that me and you don't even know. Reasons that me and you can't even comprehend. That's why a lot of things happens to us. But instead of being grateful for the things that happening to us, we're being mad. We're being angry, right? We're asking why. We need to stop asking why and say thank you, man. Just say thank you. Thank you for the fact that my car stopped today. Thank you for because it rained today that I couldn't go nowhere. Thank you because something told me to stay home today. Thank you because if I have, money, I would have gone to the club, to the party, right? Sometimes we got held back because these things that working behind the scenes to protect us. There's things that working behind the scene for our own good, but we don't understand that, right? Sometimes we force things to happen, right? We force a lot of things to happen in our lives when we know we weren't ready, right? It's either we wasn't ready or the universe know that you wasn't ready for it, but you keep asking for it. We keep asking the universe, give me this, give me that. And the universe give it to us. All right? And along the way, down the line, we can't even hold on to the things that we've been asking for. Okay? It's just like a kid, right? We're just older kids, older than the kids, right? If you have children or you have kids, you know that. Kids always want things, right? They can have sometimes. It's the same thing with us. Sometimes we're asking for things that we cannot have. We're asking for things that we cannot keep. And when the universe or when nature, God, the divine doesn't give us what we need or what we ask for, we're complaining. We got mad. We got angry, right? Without realizing that it's for our own benefit why we didn't have that prior to us asking it. Because if you read the Bible, it says that God already know what you want. Okay? God already know what you want. God already know what we want, right? So therefore we don't have to ask for it. We'll get it. But because we're so anxious, we're anxious about things. We want things to happen so quick. We want things to happen so fast. We keep asking, begging for it. And when we get it, we can't even hold on to it. It disappeared. It's gone, right? Just like that. Just one mistake, all right? Because the universe, God, the divine, trying to protect us from our own selves. Majority of the time, things happen to us. Things happen to us is because God, the divine, the universe, nature, wanted to protect us. And we don't get it. We don't understand it. We're always fighting for things that we cannot have or we cannot keep, right? That's why it's gone when we get it. And we have to understand that sometimes we're not ready for a thing. Okay? And when you're not ready for a thing, when you get it, you're not going to be able to hold on to it. You're not going to be able to keep it. Okay? Why I say things happen for two reasons. One reason things happen is to teach us a lesson. I think I mentioned that before in the previous video I did. Things happen to us to teach us a lesson. Okay? We might not know what the lesson, why the lesson, and what kind of lessons that, things happen to us to teach us. But if we deep into ourselves, we will understand that. Okay? Things happen to teach us a lesson. Okay? And not just a lesson, okay, physical lessons. Sometimes it's spiritual lessons. Okay? Invisible lessons, lessons that we cannot see, we cannot touch, okay, we cannot understand yet. But down the line, we will understand, okay? Later on down the line, we will understand why this thing happened to us, why that happened, why this happened, okay? Sometimes it's to teach us a lesson because life is a school, okay? The world that we're living in is a whole school. Us breathing, okay, having breath, working around, doing things, man. That's the classroom, man. This earth right here is the classroom, okay? And the things that happen into us is lessons, okay? Sometimes it's a lessons, and sometimes also it's a blessing. Okay? Things happen to us as well to bless us. Okay? It's either a blessing or a lesson. That's why things happen to us. Sometimes we don't even see the lessons or we don't even see the blessings, right? Even when the blessing comes, we won't know the things that happened to us, 2 years ago or a year ago, 10 minutes ago was for that blessing to come to us. Sometimes we watch things so much or we decide to quit, we don't even let the blessing come to us. Okay? Sometimes we miss our blessings because of our own ego, our own misunderstood, right? Our own misunderstandings. That's why sometimes we miss our blessings, okay? Or sometimes we see the blessing comes, we don't even know or recognize, okay, where the blessing came from. Without understanding that it's because last week or 2 days ago or last year, 2 years ago, God, the divine, done stop something from happening, okay? Because he wanted to blessing you, or the divine wanted to bless you, all right? Down the line. That's why things happen. That's why the things happen to us. Majority of the time, we have that huge ego. We think we know better than nature. We know better than the universe. We know better than the divine. No, we don't, man. Okay? Sometimes we do things out of ego, out of feelings and emotions. We miss our blessings because we mix, emotions with reality. Okay? And sometimes that the lessons comes, we don't understand it because our ego so big. Our emotions, okay? We let emotion run us instead of reality. Instead of the real truth or reality, okay? We run our lives by emotions and egos, okay? That's why majority of the time, man, things happen to us. We don't even understand why. We don't know how long that been lingering, okay, in the background. Okay? So when something happened to us, it's either happened to teach us a lesson or to bring us a blessing. Okay? It's either to teach us a lesson or to bring us a blessing. Okay? That's why majority of the time the divine, okay, stop things from happening, stop us from going places, okay? That's why things that we have or we believed in, we think we can hold on for a long time, it's gone until we learn, okay? Until we learn the lessons that we have to learn, or until that, we wait for the blessings to come, okay? Sometimes things gotta get out the way for your blessing to come in. Sometimes we have to lose things, okay, for us to learn the lessons that we need to learn. Okay? So don't quit to ask why. Sometimes we just have to say thank you. Thank you because this and that happened. Thank you because I didn't even understand why, it started raining and I had to stay home. Sometimes we have to say thank you that I received that phone call that, I had to stay where I was for a little bit. I didn't have to move so quickly. Sometimes we have to understand that things are going to happen to teach us a lesson or to bring us a blessing. Okay? And this is what I have for you today. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. All right? Peace.